All right, so how we doing this week, everyone? For me, I got to work with charity event manager, so that was pretty cool. I created some alerts for events in AD. Yeah, it was actually really straightforward. It felt like I was playing with a scratch, you know. Documentation for that software was so clean that you generally could like just piece together how the software works by looking at the history events and variables. Compared to our like remote managing software, the RMM, it's like day and night difference. But I'm just saying, dude, if the document is ass, I'm not wasting my time to fucking look at it. I'm literally just gonna open up a support ticket every time I need to go do something or find something. Like there's some really rudimentary things with the RMM that like it's so poorly documented. You're like, why the fuck am I wasting 30 minutes of my time trying to like find this one singular thing? Holy crap, that documentation makes me want to rip my hair out. In other news, Warframe released new content for our little fungus boy here, Nokko. The little sporlings are so cute, bro. Fucking size of a toe, double cheeked up. Knuckles' idle animation is also pretty neat. So let's go to our first main topic here, which is about mirror dungeons in Limbus Company. I took a backseat on doing mirror dungeons because I wasn't sure how to do them. I got one of my friends on a call and they basically explained to me how it works. Imagine it like Honkai Star Rail Simulator Universe. You basically pick a team of 12 sinners, you make it structured around a particular status effect or synergy. There's a bunch of status effect in the game. To name a few, we got like sinking, we got bleeding, we got tremor, all that stuff. I've only played with tremor, sinking, and poise so far. All of them work out pretty well. Tremor is the one that's like a little bit slower, even if you have like tremor bursts. I'm not sure if my friend trolled me by saying that tremor teams are viable. That shit was slow, bro. Like mirror dungeons by itself is already pretty slow. It's like fucking 25-30 minute process, and that's on like normal mode, which you have to do 3 times. I haven't finished the Kantos. I can only do normal. From what I heard, harder difficulty, you only have to do mirror dungeon once. You're good to go. So yeah, Mirror Dungeon is a way to gain lunacy, which is a premium currency for polling characters, and also eagles, like an ultimate button. That's what eagles are. Mirror Dungeons, you could do a rental team. You can only use it for 1 run, and usually those are higher quality because they're maxed out in rank. Actually, yeah, I remember seeing a section in the rental team that describes what type of synergy they have. For me this week, it was poise and bleed. Now, to do the dungeons, you're basically trying to pick the floors that offer relics. Why'd I say relic? Offer ego gifts that empowers your build, essentially. You get a wide selection of stages for each floor. There's also like a whole ass panel where you could choose your starting bonus, and it costs a specific type of currency. I forgot what they're called. They accumulate after each successful run of the mirror dungeon, which is a nice little roguelike element to it. I appreciate that. Once you're past the buff selection screen, you get to choose your starting ego gift, which gives you a little boost to make your run go a bit faster. From there on, really, you're on your first floor, and what you want to do is just like zoom out of the floor plan, take a look at the tiles. You want to go for the tile that gives you the most question marks. These are encounters that are usually guaranteed to give you an ego gift, so you just get those for free while avoiding battles. That's one of the advice my friends give me. Avoid battles and just go for ego gifts. It's usually not worth the trouble. Avoid anomalies. Anomalies award you with 120 floor currencies if you win and you get some ego gifts out of it, but the fights are usually pretty disgusting, so it's not worth the trouble if you're just there to finish the run quickly. Floor bosses, for the most part, you could just win rate it. My friend did tell me to research the floor packs. Some bosses are just fucking nasty to deal with. Our collab event currently, that floor pack is really fucking gross. You cannot win rate Arknight's collab mirror dungeon floor. That's fucking really gross. What are the other things? Oh yes, so before the boss you have like a shop stage, and it's guaranteed, by the way, it's not randomized. Could upgrade your ego gifts or buy ego gifts. Here's where the next tip my friend gave me comes in. He says in these shops you want to buy gifts that helps your synergy, and make sure to use your free shop refresh and to upgrade gifts as necessary. You can also buy tier 3 ego gifts and use whatever tier 2 ego gifts you have and fuse them into a ego gift that fits your build. So that's called fusion. So that's that. Maybe not. I will include some pictures for instructional purposes. So that's pretty much it for the mirror dungeons. You repeat the cycle of getting free ego gifts, doing the boss battles until you're 5 floors in, and then you get your free lunacy. The past 2 weeks I came across a manga that I really liked. It's called Sister and Giant. A young lady is reborn in another world. This manga caught my interest because of a comment I read on Bilibili, which said that, oh yeah, there's this manga where a young boy got turned into a brain in a box. I'm like, what the fuck? Read a little bit more into it, and they say it's a isekai genre, and the young boy basically got experimented on and got turned into a brain in a box. That caught my interest immediately. I'm like, God damn, that's a hardcore ass story. Okay, this is post-production here. I totally forgot to mention like how the boy came to be a box and like what his abilities are. It's actually a very interesting plot point. So starting from here, this is the demon princess. I'll mention her later. And this right here is the young boy. Now, this young boy, they're able to basically return by death. And with that in mind, I'm going to show you how the author does his world building. So right now, this is like the first contact where the demon princess meets the boy. And this is where he mentions, oh, I have the ability to rewind by death. Now, right here, this girl immediately jumps out the cart and start to, chat with the protagonist group. And they mention a sense of deja vu. And now she starts to chant a series of what seems to be nonsensical like words and stuff. This civilization here, this isekai, already has countermeasures similar to the Executioner and Her Way of Life manga, where they have countermeasures in place for all the isekai people. So yeah, it's cool how they do the world building. Now, in my head, because I'm not sure if it's the same way that the author is thinking about this, each of these words is indicative of a save point. So if they react to the first phrase, you're on your first loop. If they react to the second phrase, that's, the second loop. And then whichever point they stop reacting, you realize, oh, they probably either been through all of the scenarios or this is their first time meeting. Now that's the countermeasure. And then what makes the story unique is that the author has introduced another element that further explain how rewind by death works. In this world, this isekai, they have something called fairies that interrupts the flow of time. Let me just scroll down right here. So actually, I got the chronology wrong here. The princess explained this in a way later chapter. Basically, there's existence called fairies, which are 5-dimensional beings. They don't get affected by the reversion of time. And it kind of makes sense if you accept that the axis of dimension includes time. So 5th-dimensional beings could have 1 feet in 3rd dimension and another feet in like the other dimension. Their appearance and existence is just a projection or a shadow of their physical being. That's one way to think about how 5-dimensional beings exist here. But basically the fairies, they move about, they introduce randomness in each loop, and they make it so that each rewind does not go back to a specific result. So it's cool that the author has considered this already. Now back to the boy. They try to join the Sisterhood, but they got rejected. And then before the main cast departs, the demon princess warned the boy to be on the lookout of other people in this world because they are cruel and he will be harmed. So she's like really trying to let the boy know that, hey, watch out, man, you're gonna get fucking scammed and you're gonna get fucking brutalized. I'm gonna scroll down here. You can see how he's already getting fucked up. Not only that, isekai reincarnators, they are valued in this world. Like everything about them is very valuable. So I guess this guy's getting harvested for his body parts, and inevitably there's like some sort of weird creature thing that comes in and basically took his brain out and put it inside of this box. And as long as this brain survives, and the heart, I guess, their ability stays there. And it's binded to the box. And then the box is further binded to whoever purchased the box. So you get an extra fucking like broken ability here as like an item. It's so fucking funny to me. Reminds me of the God of War series where you have this like head attached to your belt and you just use them. Again, the story is really damn cool. Now, looking at the cover, I already see that, the author has something cooking. It's not really normal to have a small character and a large character side by side like that. Usually giants in stories, they're not the main cast, they're supporting casts. They're always like weapons of war or like NPCs, shopkeeps. They're not really the main character most of the time. That makes the manga stand out a little bit already. The dynamics between the giant and the sister makes the story even better. The girl on the left here is Hinako, and the girl on the right here, the giantess, is Elis. Elis's full name is Elis Incuba, and I believe the author based off the giant's culture and appearance off of Native Americans, or it has like some sort of like tribal design that's close to Native Americans. Hinako came to this other world after like an incident as per isekai genre. It's a little bit unclear how Hinako came across Elis. I'm pretty sure the author kept it vague intentionally so we could dig into it in the future. But as the story progressed from chapter 1 into like chapter 10, we really didn't get to see many flashbacks. It's only little glimpses that we get. We see that Hinako helps Elis, they form a bond, that's pretty much it. We don't have a beginning, we only have like the middle and the finish sort of deal. Elis is a social outcast of her own race. Due to her appearance, she has white hair and she's very shy and timid, which doesn't fit the bravado and like the black hair nature of giants. And also her skin tone is pretty light, whereas like the giants have a darker skin tone. Now back to Hinako's and Elis' relationship. When Hinako picked up Elis, she's like, let's be blood sisters and form a blood pact. And coincidentally, in this other world, giants do have a culture of brotherhood and sisterhood, so that didn't come as like a barrier for the two characters. Hinako actually comes with like emotional baggage in regards to the sisterhood slash blood pact. The author dives into this right away from chapter 1, and to summarize it, it's like a reason of the death actually is related to this sister pact, and the entire story revolves around the theme of sisterhood, so it's pretty crucial. The dynamic here is pretty interesting because you have this small elder sister with this big giant younger sister. Hinako, despite being a otherworlder, she doesn't have any cheats. Again, that's another twist the author has thrown into this series. So therefore, Hinako is literally just a young lady in another world. She is brought up with prestige, you know, she has like education, she has formal training in how to conduct themselves as a person with status. And this is something she imparts onto Elis. And Elis is very grateful for this because giants in their world, they don't focus on this elegant stuff. They don't learn how to behave like humans because they see that as weakness. For giants, strength is everything, and their strength obliterates all obstacles, and it eliminates a lot of need for this type of socializing and this type of learning. And this also becomes a plot point later on in the series, where Elis stands out as a giant because she fights like a human. It's a very, very, from a literature standpoint, this really tickles my like fancy, bro. Hinako herself do feel guilty that she has nothing else to provide for the giantess. And this is a plot point that gets explored in the story, how these two characters grow closer by, you know, exposing their vulnerabilities with each other and assuring each other that their worth in this relationship is there. It's solid, identified, unshakable, and they do bring each other's worth. Like this comforting, warm feeling you get when you read these two characters on screen. It's an approach that I feel like it's lacking in isekai genres. There's some really touching scenes where, like, you know, Elis is basically saying, sister, you taught me how to be graceful. You taught me how to treat others with respect, how to gain respect. You taught me how to be not a brute in a world as cruel as this. Now, speaking of that, this other world setting is, on the surface, it seems like another, you know, medieval slop, but it's similar to series like Helk and Plunderer, if you read those two. So the story takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where technology has fallen off in favor of magic. And it seems like even magic itself is a product of technology. And whatever magical beasts and beings in this world seems to be, again, a product of technology. That leads me into my own little crackpot theory about the demon race itself. It feels like the demon race has a lot of knowledge about these beasts and like technologies. They have like a overwhelmingly insightful perspective of this world. It makes me feel like these demons are actually descendants of humans, whereas the humans in the series might be like failed experiments or like clones, something of that nature. It's like an adjacent offshoot of humans. This isn't a spoiler, by the way. Like within 10 chapters or so, you see like this giant spaceship crashing in the middle of like the human capital. and you see a scene where a space elevator is in the background of a forest. So it's like not hidden, it's literally right there if you just see it. Jumping onto another element of the story here. So we know there's other reincarnators in the world, and Hinako's current purpose, like in the first 10 or so chapters, is to find her other blood sister that came from the modern world. And she believes this person has reincarnated along with her in the tragedy. This brings me to another thing. There's an unreliable narrator situation going on. I don't know if it's a translation issue or if like there's a missing chapter going on. From Hinako's storytelling, it seems that Hinako was the reason why her blood sister died together with her. But then from the blood sister's perspective, it seems to be another character, like a third one, that was there. And the blood sister and the third character died together while Hinako was in the background watching. And then Hinako took her own life. This is glossing a lot of like trauma and relationship stuff. Hinako and this blood sister, they came from a Catholic school. There's a heavy theme of religiousness and sanctity and purity. It's a lot to take in. Like, this author is trying to wield so many heavy elements in this one story, and I really applaud their ambition and the technique they're using right now. So after complimenting the author so much, I do have to point out one flaw that they have. After around chapter 12, it does start to feel like they're shoving too many things into the story, and it's like the pacing is getting destroyed, where it feels kind of disjointed and out of place of how quickly these things are coming together. The fantasy aspect, the rivalry, the revenge aspect, and then like you have Elis essentially getting turned into an ex machina in a way. I'm not gonna spoil it because Elis has something else going on with her. She's already unique, but with this, it makes her even more unique. And at that point, I kind of lost interest, so I dropped it from like, you know, a B+ rating to a B-. Thankfully, the author did finish the arc kind of gracefully and did a time skip. Thank fucking God. And it started being peak again after the time skip. Now, I've been mentioning this character on and off throughout this entire time, the Demon Princess. Who is she? What's her name? Her name is actually Carla Azuma, and her identity was not revealed until like chapter 10. So yes, I'm sorry, I just kind of spoil it, but you know, she is such an interesting character, and to me, her identity makes it even better, and it's very recognizable with her horns and whatnot. Carla, despite being a demon, she feels very much like a human. She would not hesitate to use her minions to like kill people, but she has a compass, a moral compass that dictates whether she does that or not. She's a morally gray character, obviously. She is not lovey-dovey. She takes things pretty seriously. There are very cute moments of her where she, you know, blushes and she feels shy. The way that the character puts focus on Carla makes me feel like she might as well be another main character. She breathes life into this tense world, and she feels like a really strong supporting character, like a backbone of Elis and Hinako's adventures. Carla, her height is, I think it's a little bit shorter than Hinako. So how I see is that I think Carla plays like a role of like a bodyguard, not so different from Elis. Elis is giant, so she cannot be there with Hinako all the time, but Carla can, because they're literally the same size. So Carla would be the foil to Hinako in that way. Like, who is closer to her? Who is closer to Hinako? Is it Elis? Is it Carla? Elis is the first sister that Hinako has made a blood pact with, while Carla is the second sister. So in that way, Elis has seniority, but Carla gets to be next to Hinako more often. And there's tension, there's sexual tension between Elis and Carla, which later gets explored as well. It's just overall such a beautiful written fucking manga that it fucking makes me like, oh, you know what I mean? Carla is like such a complex character, whereas on the surface, you know, she gives off the average villain vibes, but she has a heart of gold. You just cannot stop yourself from loving this character, bro. I am expecting a lot from this series. I feel like it could literally take the charts. It has a lot of fucking potential. Way, way, way better than some of the garbage I've been eating recently. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and I hope that, you know, you guys will take a look at it. Let's talk about a shit manga that I read today, this week rather. Golden Experience Point. Yes, I have to add point in there because otherwise people are gonna think about Giorno's stand. Golden Experience Point. This shit is so ass. Like, I think it's like some 12-year-old read or glossed fucking Overlord, and it's like, I can make stories like that. Little did they know, this is not how you write a fucking story. So they fucking introduced the story with, this is a deep dive virtual reality. Guess what's the name of the game? Boot Hour fucking Dark Cock. I don't know, what the fuck, let me search it up. Okay, so the actual virtual reality game is called Boot Hour Shoot Curse. Like, what the fuck ass name is that? I think it's full English too, so there's not like a Japanese version of it. I'm trying to understand, like, what was the author's idea of naming a fucking game like that? Like, sometimes, right, I don't know if just me being autistic, but I really fucking hate it when, like, there's some corny ass, like, just unrecognizably, like, lame naming. It just, like, ruins the entire story for me. Putting that bias aside, it still is a shit ass story because this is what happened next. You have what seemingly is a level 1 character, right? With nothing notable, no notable features, no capabilities. It just suddenly becomes all powerful and shit. She encounters a goddamn, whatchamacallit, a tribe of bandits that are like cute wolf girls, cat girls. She tames them, or whatever the fuck, you know, things happen. And then she ran into a giant wolf, as isekai genres tend to have giant wolves, whatever, so fuck it. And then right after that, you know what the fuck happens? Kind of the same case system. Somehow this motherfucker runs into an ant, and then this fucking ant has a queen, which somehow she fucking tames. So like, within not even 2-3 chapters, this fucker has like 4 powerful minions under her hand. As a gamer, I'm like, what sort of power balancing is this? Like, what makes this person so unique that they get to do this? Like, in a world that's as flexible as that, you know what the fuck I would do as a gamer? I would start fucking pillaging. I would start like, just inducting all NPCs under my command. Like, yo, I want to start a serious, like, crazy ass campaign and just amass power. Like, what's stopping another player from being as imaginative as the main character? There is not. Like, it is so fucking silly, dude. Like, this is not power fantasy done right. This is just slop. Like, it's so fucking trash. And then out of rage, I kept reading, right, hoping that it gets good, because the art is pretty nice. The main character's design is supposed to be like an albino elf girl with like red eyes, and like she has some really realistic disabilities, such as being sensitive to light, nearsighted. So that's like one thing that made me think like maybe the story has something cooking. You know, the author has considered the downsides. No, that's just out the window right the fuck away, and it didn't really impact her shit at all. Just it's flavor text. It has nothing to do with gameplay. So what else tilted me after that? Right. So now she has like a bandit girl troop, a giant wolf, which also has like a fucking like a lot of like baby wolves with them, and a queen ant with reproduction capabilities. So she's basically a fucking zoomancer at this point. And yes, she has necromancer capabilities. Guess what the fuck happened next? She ran into a fucking skeleton knight who seemingly has a very interesting background. And then the author just skipped that part. It's like tame. All right, fuck. Yeah, what happened to the pride of a knight, you know? After that, it's just like the main character flexing her power even more. Out of fucking nowhere, like we jump into the scene within a coliseum, and we have this mysterious knight, you know, maybe the author just wanted to put the result first, and then show the result first, and then show how like it led up to that, you know, play around with the chronology of events to introduce a little bit of spice. Nope, not really. Fuck. The lead up to how that armor came to be was just like this bitch somehow unlock alchemy and just like create a philosopher's stones. There's an aspect of the system which I find understandable and is like interesting, is that in that quote unquote virtual reality game you could craft things without needing to unlock the recipe. So let's think of it this way, like in a video game you could craft something, even though in game you probably haven't unlocked or found yet, but you see a video guide and people have the material list and stuff, so you know you can craft it from the get-go. Sort of like that. This MC somehow out of her anus pulled out a recipe for the philosopher's stone and shit, and she crafted this OP-ass set of living armor and living weapons. It's just nonsensical, bro. I'm like, what the fuck is this story? Oh, it gets better by the way. So after that, she went around farming shit, turning her forest into a pseudo dungeon. She found another fucking skeleton knight, tames it, and then realized this forest has living trees, and then like one of this tree is like able to evolve into a world tree. Oh my gosh, shit is so fast, bro. What the fuck am I reading? Let's just get over it. To the next topic we go. What the fuck? I just want to talk about like a creature that I saw on a video, which is the Lamprohaminoea. Cymbalum Sea Slug. Holy crap, I cannot pronounce this. I'll drop a link for that in the video description below. Pretty cool creature. They look like straight up Pokemons, you know? You know that snail that gets affected by a parasite and their eye turns all green and like with crazy shapes in it? This Sea Slug kind of looks like that. Like the eye stalk. Also came across this thing called the Velvet Worm, which is really nice and cute looking. I can't believe we have all these like creatures on this planet, bro. Like every day there's like a patch note that drops and like, hey, we have these creatures we can find. You know? The next thing I want to vent about is being able to just use a ISO and repair Windows, bro. Like what the hell? Why does this process have to be so complex? For me, my original goal was just trying to repair a device that I know clearly has a corrupted Windows image because it boots fine into Windows safe mode and it's relatively stable. Either that or like the memory card is fried. Like those two are the only possible things. In my attempt to use DISM command, disk image command, it led me to believe that, you know, I need to re-image this thing entirely. So I went around trying to get a ISO for Windows 11 Pro Edition. Taught me a few things. Windows Installation Media Creator does not really work the way I think it does. It creates a 32 gigabyte Windows pre-execution environment, or what's it called? Windows boot media, like exactly 32 gigabytes. Even if you have like terabyte worth of storage, it just formats it as 32 gigabytes. It's really annoying. And even then, they cannot put all the files in there together properly. The main thing you need is something called a .wim or a what's it called? .esd. These two file types are used to repair. Oh, that's a big head. Are used to repair the Windows image. And if you're using a Windows installation media, it splits it into two parts. The file type called .swm. You have to use a command to combine those. And if you have a fuck-ass computer like mine, it's gonna be like, oh yeah, we can't combine these. Blah, 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 fucking scratch disk issue, all this bullshit. So my recommendation: download Rufus. Use it to download the .iso, and then create a bootable media from the ISO that you downloaded, and it will contain the .wim. You have to like, so you can skip the annoying part. Interesting thing about the Rufus is it seems like you could just override hardware requirements for Windows 11, so that's neat for people who are just in a bind and you know, their company's telling them to upgrade without purchasing softwares and hardwares that could upgrade. I'm not gonna go too deep into the DISM command because holy crap, it was so bad. I found one YouTube video that seemed promising, and it really did work for them. I don't know why my problematic device decides to just not do the same thing. So I'll put in the video link in the description below as well. So hopefully help somebody. I'll say if you could boot into like safe mode and have it run stably, then it might just be like a driver issue. It'll be like a battery you have to replace. use an onboard diagnostic if you have that to find out what the issue is. I know the video has been pretty long and the later half is just basically sped up. But yeah, I hope you guys, you know, learned something new, found something entertaining in my videos, and thank you guys for watching. Have a good one. Catch y'all next time.